Right now at 6, new election results coming in, with some key contests decided and others still too close to call. Plus, a shocking crime on a MAX platform when a man is shoved into the path of an oncoming train. What we're learning tonight about the suspect. Then, what the man on trial for the death of an off-duty police officer told the jury that will decide his fate.
I wish I had never gone and asked for help at that house.
And backtrack in Beaverton, why a plan to potentially consolidate students into one larger school now appears to be on hold. A very good evening, everyone. We begin at 6 with an apparent winner in the closely watched race for Multnomah County District Attorney. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm David Molko. Both the Associated Press and the Oregonian called the race about an hour ago, shortly after DA Mike Schmidt conceded to challenger Nathan Vasquez. So here's the latest update from the Secretary of State. Vasquez holding on to his lead by about 8 percentage points. That's after the county just tallied another 22,000 votes or so. This afternoon, Schmidt saying he called Vasquez, who is one of his senior deputies, by the way, to congratulate him on his victory. Our Pat Doris talked to Vasquez before he got that concession call, and in an election that many saw as a referendum on what's wrong or right with Portland. Here's part of what he told Pat about the path forward.
I don't see this as some national referendum or anything of that nature. For me, this is about really focusing on our community and how do we create and build the safest community we can. And my goal will be absolutely to kind of pull that national politics, the national rhetoric out, and just stay very accessible to the community, but very focused on what's happening here.
Well, Pat, we'll have much more of his conversation coming up at 6:30 on The Story. All right, let's get you caught up on some of the other key races we are watching this evening. The race for Multnomah County Commissioner's 2nd district seat appears to be headed for a November runoff. Clinical social worker Shannon Singleton will be one of the candidates. It still remains neck and neck for the 2nd spot between former Portland Mayor Sam Adams and business owner Jesse Burke. Let's head over to Clackamas County. Incumbent Chair Tootie Smith is still trailing former Sheriff Craig Roberts. Roberts is just over the 50% threshold right now. If that holds, and it appears Clackamas still has tens of thousands of outstanding ballots to count, by the way, he would win outright and avoid a November runoff. Right now, that race, of course, remains too close to call. Now, if there is a race you're interested in that we did not mention, you can text the word election to the number on your screen. That's 503-226-5088, and we will text you back with a link straight to our full election results. You can also find them right now on KGW.com or on the KGW app. Developing this evening, a man charged with attempted murder for allegedly pushing a rider in front of a moving MAX train has made his first court appearance. Sydney Dorner's live at the Providence Park Station in Southwest Portland. Sydney, we should mention the train stopped before it hit the victim and he survived.
Yes, David, that's right. On Tuesday afternoon, police received multiple reports of a man not only pushing someone right in front of an oncoming train here at Providence Park, but also stealing from multiple people. Today, he appeared in court and pled not guilty to all charges.
I didn't see any visible marks or anything on him. He just was more shaken up, I think, more than anything, and kind of shocked and surprised at what had happened, kind of as much as I was.
Words from Dave Chastain, who was completely caught off guard during his shift as a MAX operator. Chastain had to pull an emergency brake just seconds after a man was pushed in front of his train coming into the Providence Park station.
And then all of a sudden he ran towards the tracks and shoved a guy right into the tracks in front of me.
Luckily, Chastain saved the man's life, and he only had minor injuries. As for the person who shoved him, police arrested 31-year-old Michael Lynn Moreland. Portland Police and Transit Police were able to find him not too far away at Southwest 10th and Yamhill, saying he was also involved in multiple thefts shortly after the MAX incident. Wednesday afternoon, Moreland appeared in court facing multiple charges, including attempted murder. He pleaded not guilty. Chastain says he has only been an operator for about a year, and it can be hard to keep riders safe with so much unpredictable behavior.
There's always something happening, there's always something going on, and you really have to be on your toes for this job, more than you would ever think.
Now, the judge did order Moreland be held without bail. Moreland challenges and will have a hearing tomorrow morning. David, back to you.
Yeah, Sydney Dorner of Providence Park this evening. Thank you, Sydney. In your headlines now, 2 Portland State students were arrested today after they chained themselves to the front door of a PSU administration building. This was around 11 this morning at the Richard and Maureen Newberger Center. And a PSU official said the 2 were asked to leave and continue their protest elsewhere. When they declined, campus public safety officers arrested those students for disorderly conduct. Campus police say they also arrested someone for illegally entering the main library, which is closed for repairs after demonstrators occupied it earlier this month. That person was from out of state, the university says, and has no affiliation with PSU. In Marion County, a man is facing several felony charges after a search warrant on a rural property outside of Almsville turned up a stash of suspected fentanyl and illegal firearms. Detectives say they found 250 suspected fentanyl pills, 36 guns, including an illegal short-barreled shotgun, body armor, and a stolen vehicle. 42-year-old Joseph Blades was arrested and booked into jail on charges that include being a felon in possession of firearms. In Eastern Oregon, a historic former school building in Baker City was severely damaged by a fire this morning. According to the Baker City Herald, the 108-year-old Central building was the town's former high school and was later used as part of the middle school campus. The building permanently closed in 2009. The fire forced several homes to be evacuated and classes to be canceled. One neighbor told the paper that she had seen people using the building as shelter recently. Baker City Police also said it had received several trespassing reports. And Beaverton school district officials are hitting pause on discussions about closing several elementary schools and consolidating them into a larger new school. That new school, Raleigh Hills Elementary, is under construction and set to open in 2026. Last week, the district floated the idea of closing some schools in the southeast part of the district and putting their students all under one roof. But parents pushed back, saying it is beneficial for kids to attend smaller schools in their own neighborhoods. The district says it will revisit this discussion in the fall. Matt?
And it looks more like winter up in the Cascades right now. This is not the scene holiday campers want to see as we head towards Memorial Day weekend. Snow is flying up in the Cascades. That's Timberline, 29 degrees. There's been 3 inches of new snow today, but things will be improving. First tomorrow and then again over the weekend. Tomorrow we dry out, become sunny and warmer up to 68. Sunset now at 8:44 as we close in on the 9 o'clock sunset time frame, which we'll get for about a month. The Memorial Day weekend, though, the forecast has actually improved a bit. We're going to end up seeing quite a bit of sunshine. In fact, a lot of sunshine. The improvement comes late Friday, early Saturday. I think we'll see fewer showers, and I think they'll end pretty quickly. Sunday and Monday, the forecast basically the same, but the improvement is for Friday, getaway day, and into Saturday. So I think by the time it's all said and done, everybody will be pretty happy with the weather we end up with over the long weekend. And since we're rolling into Memorial Day, I thought we'd take a quick look at the summer forecast. Looks like above average temperatures for the months of June, July, and August here in the Northwest. So we'll see how that all shakes out. Rainfall, we don't usually get very much anyway during the summer months at all. So the headlines look like this. Dry and warmer tomorrow. We get showers on Friday into early Saturday, but they're going to end pretty quickly. We'll stay cold in the mountains, though, on Saturday, but we'll end up with a lot of sunshine, David.
Yeah, good to see the forecast getting better. Thank you, Matt. Let's get to other headlines tonight, including in Clark County, where a man charged in the murder of an off-duty Vancouver police officer took the stand today in his own defense. Blair Best has the update from the Clark County Courthouse.
It was a crowded and emotional courtroom. Julio Segura appeared to be in good spirits at first. He was smiling and laughing with his counsel as officers removed the shackles from his arms and legs. He then took the stand for about an hour and a half for his chance to tell the jury what happened leading up to that deadly shooting 2 years ago. 22-year-old Julio Segura is charged with the murder of Vancouver police officer Donald Sahota. Wednesday morning was the 11th day of the murder trial at the Clark County Courthouse, and Segura, seen here in seemingly good spirits, was about to testify.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you will give today will be the truth and only the truth? I do, Your Honor. Good. Please be seated.
2 years ago, in late January, Segura stole a Mercedes from a dealership in Yakima, Washington, before robbing a Vancouver gas station while armed with a fake gun. He said he needed gas money.
Took the airsoft out of my pocket and pointed it at the clerk, and I told him to give me all the money in the register. I was not intending on hurting anybody.
Segura then led police on a high-speed chase before crashing into a ditch. Police drone video shows him running through the woods, ending up at off-duty Vancouver police officer Donald Sahoda's home, who was having dinner with his wife at the time.
I had no idea where I was at. I had no idea where I was going. It was dark. This older gentleman opens the door and he's like, "What are you doing here?"
It was Officer Sahoda. Once the sirens got closer, things escalated.
He said, "Police, now get on the ground or I'm gonna put you there."
He tells you he's a police officer and tells you to get down on the ground, right?
He says the word police. He never said, "I'm police."
Police video shows the two then started fighting. Segura says he didn't believe Sahoda was an officer.
He starts saying, "I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to shoot you." So I'm thinking, I have to get him away from this gun. I have to somehow get his gun away from him because I am not trying to get shot.
At one point, Segura says he was being choked. He stabbed Officer Sahoda in self-defense.
I thought I was going to die there.
Once officers arrived, Segura ran into the house.
I was trying to get away from the cops that were probably going to shoot me.
Clark County Deputy Jonathan Feller watched Officer Sahoda pick up his gun. That's when he shot and killed him, mistaking him for Segura, who was still inside the home.
I heard the gunshots. I got super nauseous.
Segura then turned himself in.
So when they told me to walk backwards, I walked backwards, and unfortunately, I had stepped over Sahoda's body. And when I did that, like I said, I meant no disrespect to him. I was just afraid that if I did anything other than what they told me to, I was going to get shot.
It wasn't until Segura's first court appearance that he learned Officer Sahoda died from the gunshots.
I thought that all that blood was because of me, and I thought that I had just killed someone. I wish I had never gone and asked for help at that house. I wish I had never knocked on their door.
That Clark County deputy who fired his gun is not facing any charges, and closing arguments in this case begin Thursday morning. In Vancouver, Blair Best, KGW News.